The content of this podcast is provided for general informational purposes only and is not intended as, nor should it be considered a substitute for professional medical advice. Hello, everyone. This is Karen Nickel, family nurse practitioner, and this is Itchy and Bitchy, a podcast that provides answers to your many unanswered health questions. If you listen until the very end of every episode, which I'd love for you to do, I always encourage you to be aware that your health is in your hands. I share that on every episode because I strongly believe that we all have to advocate for ourselves when it comes to our health care. In the March 15th, 2025 episode called The Best Health Advocate Is You, I shared a listener's story about how she had worsening abdominal and pelvic symptoms that were being incorrectly evaluated and treated. I shared with you that she had been listening to Itchy and Bitchy, previously called Sweaty and Pissed, for quite a while, and she re-listened to one that I did with comedian Leanne Morgan during Ovarian Cancer Awareness Month. Our listener didn't connect the ovarian cancer dots at that point, but she remembered that she had heard in that episode that if you are feeling dismissed but know something is wrong, you should keep pushing for an evaluation of the problem by your provider or get a second opinion. So my listener graciously agreed to let me share her story with you, and I encourage you to go back to that episode to listen to her health journey. I'm bringing up that story again because a couple of days ago, another listener reached out to me and shared the most amazing story. She has given me permission to tell you her story as she told it to me. I've taken out some pieces of her communication to protect her identity. Here's what she wrote to me. I have been listening to your podcast, Itchy and Bitchy, for quite some time now, and always learn a lot and find your topics interesting. I am writing to you to thank you specifically for your episode that you produced earlier in the year entitled The Best Health Advocate Is You, where you shared a story about a woman with ovarian cancer who was initially dismissed, then sought out further help for her health. I listened to that episode over and over and felt it could also be my story. I saw my doctor last year for unexplained discomfort in my abdomen, some tiredness, and generally feeling draggy. My doctor thought my symptoms were related to menopause, although I am 65 and well through that now. In March, I listened to your episode and decided, as I still had the same symptoms, I would find someone else in the area to see if I could have further investigations. That turned out to be the best decision I could have made. To cut a long story short, sort of, she says, I was diagnosed with grade 1A ovarian cancer and had successful surgery. As it was caught early, I have not needed any further treatment. I realize I have not been through anything near what your listener in the episode has been through, but it has still been a journey of ups and downs, and I will need regular monitoring for the next 5 years. I was hoping you would pass on my thanks to the person you shared about the episode. It was amazing to hear her story, and I felt such a connection. It was brave of her to share something so personal, and by doing so, it may have saved my life. I certainly hope she is doing well now. I also want to thank you for all of the Itchy and Bitchy episodes. They have made a difference in my life. Keep up the great work, and thank you again. Wow. That story brought tears to my eyes when I read it. Still brings tears to my eyes. I think we often forget how interconnected we are, even across the globe. This is truly a small world, and by sharing one another's stories, we can help and support each other. The listener I spoke of in the March 2025 episode is doing well and continues to have treatments for stage 4 ovarian cancer and has welcomed new grandchildren into her life since the advocacy episode has aired. She also is continuing to be her own best health advocate. I also shared my other listener's story with her, and she was so pleased that her fellow listener is doing well and got diagnosed early. After this quick break, I'm going to share again the ways you can advocate for yourself in the healthcare system. Welcome back. So, how do we advocate for our own health? Well, let's start by reviewing what it means to be a health advocate, either for yourself or someone else. Health advocates take control of their healthcare experience. You and your doctors make decisions as a team. You speak up with your questions, needs, concerns, and preferences. In a 2017 study, even though some women saw themselves as self-advocates, they struggled to locate the health information they needed, and they hesitated to upset their relationship with their healthcare providers. The definition of self-advocacy varies from organization to organization, and here are some of the many definitions. The American Society of Clinical Oncology defines it as, quote, a positive experience that often gives a person a sense of control in a time of uncertainty. Another definition, quote, key to long-term survival, including being willing to question experts if you don't understand something, is the definition used by Cure magazine. An example of that is to be active in treatment decisions and knowing all options and seeking second options. The National Coalition for Survivorship provides a more detailed definition. They state that self-advocacy is, quote, a way of taking charge in an otherwise portentous environment of diagnostic tests, surgery, radiation, chemotherapy, and doctors' offices. From arming oneself with good information about their diagnosis, to seeking second opinions, to locating resources for identifying and obtaining support, to knowing how to ask the right questions, people with cancer can become self-efficacious. And this doesn't apply just to cancer. This is true for any health concern. Here's how to become your own advocate. Take some time to think about your health goals. What does it mean for you to have good quality of life? Or what matters most to you when it comes to your health? Your relationship with your provider should be open, honest, and trusting. You and your providers are partners. You are on the same team. They should listen to your concerns and answer your questions so you feel comfortable. The relationship you have with your healthcare professional should be one in which you feel you can talk about anything with them, even sensitive subjects like sex or the price of tests or treatments. The person providing your healthcare should make sure that you understand and feel comfortable with your health decisions. It's very important to respect each other's time also. Show up on time for your appointments. Let your practitioner know if you feel rushed during your exams. If you don't have time to ask all your questions, schedule another visit so you can talk some more. As your own health advocate, again, you are part of the team. So doing your part is important too. Take your medications as prescribed and be honest with your healthcare professional if you have trouble taking the medications that have been prescribed so that other options can be explored. Follow health recommendations about diet, exercise, rest, smoking, and alcohol use. At your appointments, it's important to provide complete, honest information about your health. If needed, you can keep a folder or a notebook that has details including your symptoms, your current prescriptions, your past medical records or lab results, such as x-rays. personal and family medical history, drug allergies, over-the-counter medicines, herbs, vitamins, or supplements that you take. Let your doctor know if you've noticed any changes in your health since your last visit, like your weight, your appetite, your energy levels, bathroom habits, or ability to sleep. Don't assume anything you've experienced is unimportant. I'm going to say that again. Don't assume anything you've experienced is unimportant. Another important piece is to do your homework before and after each appointment. Research your symptoms, conditions, treatment options, and tests online or at your local library. Dr. Google is not recommended. Some very helpful free resources for reliable medical information include webmd.com and mayoclinic.com. Using resources like this can help you understand your condition, your treatments, and any terms you might hear during your appointments. Read up on any new medications that have been prescribed for you and make sure you have been given detailed directions on how to take the med. If you are given a new medication, ask why you are taking it, the possible side effects, how and when to take it, and what to do if you miss a dose or can't take it due to side effects. Ask if insurance coverage might be a problem and if the med is expensive. If your provider can't answer these questions, ask your pharmacist who is able to determine coverage and cost of medications based on your insurance or cash costs if you don't have insurance. Your pharmacist can also tell you if there are less expensive medication options, like another drug from the same family that is covered by your insurance or is in generic form. Of course, you can also check your medication formulary to see if the new medication is an approved med and what tier the medication is on, which determines your copay. If you don't understand what a condition is, what the treatment does, or how you should take a med, ask for clear written instructions from the provider. If you don't understand your diagnosis, your treatment options, or anything that has been recommended to you, ask the practitioner or a nurse to explain it in a clear, simple way until you feel comfortable. During office visits, make sure the following things are explained to you: all the treatment options for your condition, why you may need any tests, treatments, or procedures, risks, side effects, and costs of any tests, treatment, or procedures, success rates or benefits of potential treatments, and any medical terms or suggestions you don't understand. This part of self-advocacy can be very difficult for many people, but it's important to regularly revisit your advanced care planning. By doing so, you ensure that your wishes reflect any changes in your health that may have happened since the last draft of the document. You can change your preferences at any time, and if you haven't done advanced care planning, I strongly urge you to do so. As I mentioned, it's not always easy to think about your preferences and advanced care planning in case you get seriously ill, but it's more upsetting to think about the care you might or might not receive because you didn't make your wishes known. Remember, planning brings you and your family peace of mind and is part of getting appropriate care as you age. Quoting our listener I spoke about earlier, she says, quote, "I think we do know when something is not right, and sometimes we need a little push to keep looking for answers." I will be forever grateful to Karen for her podcast, for her wisdom, insight, expertise, knowledge, and friendship during this time. I am so glad I listened to her and sought out further help. She saved my life, end quote. I think that statement is way too generous, but I am so glad that the podcast provided the support for our listener to seek help when she so desperately needed it. As she has said to me, "You think you may have many problems in life, But when you lose your health, you really only have one problem. So protect your health by being your own best advocate. I hope the stories of these two listeners will help you move forward and achieve self-advocacy. Thank all of you for listening. Wherever you listen to this podcast, please leave a review and rate the podcast. As I've said before, your reviews and ratings really, really do matter. Also, make sure you follow the show so that it will be automatically downloaded. That matters too. If you don't tend to listen to the end of the episode, today might be the day to do so. I encourage you to visit our Facebook page, IMB Podcast, where you can give us a like and leave comments or questions for me. Our website is itchyandbitchy.com, where there are blogs with some of our subjects available for you to read. As always, thank you to Forrest Wenzel, our producer and composer of our theme music, and the person who does all the stuff you never see to make this podcast possible. Thank you, Forrest. Forrest continues to thrive at Peabody Music Conservatory, and if you want to listen to what he is creating, you can go to his website, forrestwenzel.com. FORRESTWENTZEL.com. Your health is in your hands.
Oh, how I feel, bitchy, bitchy.